Good morning. Today is day 3 of the battle plan, and I'm on vacation today, and I'm so excited to be able to sit out here this morning and share day 3 with you of the battle plan. So far, we have talked about actually getting control of our mind when something happens to us quickly. The best thing to do is try to get mind control, and we talked about that on day 1. Day 2, it's about what happens when fear overtakes us, and we need to remember that fear can be a motivator for us to increase our territory of faith. Now, day 3, according to the battle plan that I've written, compared to 2 Chronicles chapter 20, kind of what Jehoshaphat did to get the outcome he got. So the first thing he was fearful. We talked about that, but he sought God first. That was the next thing. He was actually going to seek God first. And then it says that he declared a fast in 2 Chronicles chapter 20. I'm not going to read this all to you, but make sure you go back and read 2 Chronicles 20 every day for a few days and let it encourage you. But it says, then Jehoshaphat, and this is in verse 3, was fearful, and he set himself to seek the Lord, and he called a fast throughout all Judea. So first of all, we addressed the fear. We addressed his first step in seeking God, and then now we went to call a fast throughout all Judea. Okay, so when he called these people, it says that he assembled and Judah was assembled to seek the Lord, even from all the cities of Judah, and they came to obtain aid from God. And that needs to be our number one directive when we're going through this battle plan. When we're seeking God and we're going to do a prayer or pray and fast, we need to realize that the number one directive is to obtain aid from God. That's what we need to do. So, and Jehoshaphat stood in the midst of the assembly of Judah and Jerusalem in the house of the Lord before the new courtyard, and he said, now I want to just draw your attention to a few verses in here, because I feel like there's this pattern. There's this, like, he reminds, and then he remembers, and then he recognizes. And I think that's the part of sometimes what we have to do. We don't have to remind God of what he's done, but reminding God helps us remember, and it's kind of coaching ourselves. So it says, O Lord of your fathers, you are not God in the heaven, and do you not rule over the kingdoms of the nations? In your hand are strength and might, and there is no one who can oppose you. I feel like that is so important, that there is like no one that can oppose God, and we really need to realize that when we're going to God, that no one can oppose him. That is mighty and that is powerful in so many ways. And then as you go on down, there's this remembering and reminding that's taking place. But at the very bottom of the scripture in verse 12, it says, let's go 12. It says, "O our God, will you not render judgment on them? For we have not strength enough to stand before this great army that is coming against us, and we do not know what we should do, but our eyes are on you." So here's the thing. He's reminding God, he's remembering, and then they recognize, I don't have the strength to fight this battle. There's no way that we can physically overcome this. And he says, basically, God, we don't know what to do, but we are going to keep our eyes on you, and that is the most important, significant thing to do. And so as we talk about a prayer and a fast, sometimes, I tell you that it's very important to find someone that can actually really go pray with you, and that is, I can't explain the power of having someone who's willing to go to God for you, willing to pray, willing to really seek God for you. And then the fasting, a lot of times we recognize fast as going without food, and that's true. But what about a media fast? What about not watching TV for 30 days? What about not getting on social media for 30 days? What about specific things that really comes in between the time that you and God could be sharing together, reading his word, or in prayer, or in communication with him? So day 1 is get your mind in shape. Day 2 is get your absolute seek God first, and then number 3 is decide to pray and fast when you're doing this. So that's so important. So that concludes day 3 of the battle plan. I hope you're taking great notes, and please go back and read 2 Chronicles chapter 20. Have an amazing day.